What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Steve, and today I wanted to talk numbers, talk resale, talk about a big sneaker right now, a lot of hype behind this sneaker, a lot of things going on, and not much information is out there about this sneaker, so I wanted to talk resale, give a resale kind of discussion, sort of prediction on what I think is going on in the market for this sneaker right now. It is, of course, the Nike Off-White Air Force 1 Low MCA. So this MCA Off-White Air Force 1 Low did drop again on the Sneakers app yesterday, but this time via a Sneakers stash. The previous two times it did release was on a Sneakers pass, all three of which just for Chicago. But I will say real quick, be sure to hit that subscribe button if you guys want to see an in-hand review and on feet of this sneaker, the MCA Air Force 1 Low. I was able to cop yesterday, so my video will be up next week as soon as I get the pair in, so be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons and stay tuned for that. Video is going to be great. I'm really excited to see these in hand. But with that being said, for this video, I want to dive into what is going on in the resale world for this sneaker. It's a really expensive sneaker that is going for tons of money. Just like I said, there's not much information about it. No one knows if they're going to drop again, if it was this drop the last one. No one knows, so it's just impossible to tell, but I want to take a look and kind of compare to other Off-White Air Force 1s to see what's going on with this sneaker. So we're just going to dive right in. The MCA Air Force 1 Low has, like I said, dropped 3 times, and current resale prices are right around $2,000 for a lot of sizes. The smaller sizes are a bit more expensive right now, really hovering at that $2,000 or above. With the drop today, every size was right around $2,000, but the drop today did decrease those bigger sizes quite a bit, a few $100s. You can get an 11 for around $1,700 right now. So first things first, I think the price is going to continue to go down slightly. Obviously not too much, but more pairs did, enter the world basically from this drop, and the sneaker stash gets pairs shipped to people who buy them. So, people cannot necessarily sell all of them right now. As pairs continue to move and ship throughout this next week, we will see prices decrease at least a little bit, just because people are going to be selling them off. There's going to be a little competition. So for now, if you are looking to buy in for this sneaker, I would do it probably this week. I think after this week, it's going to be a bit harder to tell, but they're definitely going to start moving back up, especially if they don't release again. Like I said, it's impossible to tell. The only information we do have is the MCA exhibit itself, I believe, is closing fairly soon in Chicago. So it's likely, at least in my mind, that these sneakers need to be all sold before the exhibit's up, given that the sneaker is for the exhibit itself. So we'll see, but like I said, I don't know, so I just don't know. But we'll see what's going on with that. Nonetheless, resale prices right now are very high, and like I said, it's those smaller sizes going for more, bigger sizes going for less. That is the current trend. So at least long term, now that we've kind of taken a look at the short term, long term for the MCA Off-White Air Force 1 Low, we're going to compare it to the other Air Force 1 Lows in its category. So of course, there were 2 other ones that did drop in previous, we'll call it scenarios, compared to the MCA one here. The 2 previous ones were the Complex Con pair, the all-white one shown here, Complex Con. This was 2017, so this one came out a couple years ago at this point. The next one for the next year was the one for the MoMA exhibit. It was the black pair, but as you guys can see, it's the same design on the swoosh, same design on the back as the MCA, just the MCA pair this time is blue. So these are the 2 we're going to compare to, and not the other Air Force 1 off-white models, the ones from the 10, like the original pair, and then the black and the yellow pair, just because they are different in terms of release quantity, release style. The 3 that we are looking at, the MCAs, the Complex Con, and the MoMAs, are all similar in that they only dropped at one specific time for one specific reason. The MoMAs, of course, at the MoMA, Complex Con at Complex Con, and the MCAs sort of at the MCA in Chicago for that exhibit. So these 3 are far more limited and go for a lot more money than the ones from the 10, just because, like I said, they're more limited, more coveted, or way harder to get. You had to be in a specific area to be able to cop them. So price differences are definitely big. But if we look long term, obviously we're looking at a sneaker, the Complex Con one, which came out in 2017 at the end of the year, so a couple years. But if we take a look, prices are really high, and this is just StockX. We're using StockX for this model just to take a look at the live bids and acts, see what's going on the website currently. They don't even have every size anymore. Pairs are disappearing. Pairs may not even exist in terms of resale anymore. everyone who has them has probably either worn them, sold them, that type of thing, just because they were so old and so limited. But you can see, some ridiculous asks here, 10 grand for some of these small sizes, even a size 10 too. But then, a size 12, 3 grand, that's more reasonable. Obviously, don't get me wrong, still a ton of money, but just not 10 grand. So if we look at the complex conversion, we see prices got very, very high. If we take a look at the MoMA on StockX, they listed it with 2 different pages here, with socks and without socks. So if we take a look at the pair without socks, we can see same thing. They don't even have every size anymore. Price is also very, very high, well above that 5 grand mark on some sizes. If we take a look at the pair with socks, we can see even more ridiculous than the pair without. You just get the idea. There's probably one guy selling his size 8. He put it up for $1 million, of course, not realistic, but you get the idea. Not every size exists dead stock anymore. People are not necessarily selling them, so they could list them at whatever they want. My point is, in looking at all of these, is that the MCAs, I believe, will go in that same pattern later down the line. Give it, we'll call it a year, maybe 2 years. It's just going to be that same idea, especially if the MCA Off-White Air Force 1 lows do not release again. If these are all the pairs that are released, clearly everyone who has them, and the price is only going to go up and pairs are only going to disappear. So I would expect that same price trend to continue, assuming they don't drop again. If they do drop again, that changes the landscape. If we get a more formal sneakers drop and let's say a ton of pairs enter the market, obviously it's a different story. If we get another type of sneakers pass, sneaker stash, it's just tough to see. I can make another video if that does happen. But let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of this sneaker and of these 3 Air Force 1s in particular. These prices are some of the highest prices in terms of resale and in terms of Off-White Nike resale. So they're some of the most limited and special sneakers that have dropped. So I thought this was just an interesting video to get up to talk about the resale prices for these particular Air Force 1s. So we'll just do a quick recap here. The MCA Off-White Air Force 1 low is currently trading for right around $2,000. Some bigger sizes are a little bit less than that, but kind of right around that 2 grand range. I do believe that this week prices will decrease a little bit as people tend to get their pairs in. Prices should drop a bit as there's a bit more competition and more pairs enter the market. Long term, I do expect these, as long as the hype of Virgil Abloh and Off-White, and as long as it stays relevant to Nike, I don't see any reason why at some point in the future, talking long term, they would not appear to be similar to the Complex Con and the MoMA Off-White Air Force 1s, just in terms of how limited they were, the demand, all that tied in that I explained earlier in the video. I would expect them to go up quite a bit and start disappearing off the market in the long term. And for now, the hype is as real as ever. Very demanded shoe. Tons of people talking about it. Tons of people want it. So, like I said, just a very, very popular shoe. But that basically wraps up all that I wanted to talk about for this video. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this discussion. Please let me know in the comments down below what you guys are thinking. Let's keep the discussion going down there. I'd love to know your thoughts. So yeah, what do you guys think? Did I get it right? Did I get it wrong? What am I talking about here? Is it right? Do you guys think that the price trends that I'm suggesting will happen? What do you think of this shoe, especially compared to the Complex Con or the MoMA versions? For me, the blue looks really cool and it stands out, but white and black are obviously a lot more, easier to wear, a lot more simple shoe, but, that's the whole idea of the Off-White Nike collabs, is something that sticks out, so the blue definitely fits the character. But, we'll see what happens in the future. I'm excited to see what else Virgil Abloh and Nike and Off-White have down the pipeline. Hopefully there's more sneakers, but like I said, only time will tell. Thank you guys, as always, for watching. I appreciate it. Drop those likes if you guys enjoyed this video. Share it as well with your friends. And be sure to hit that subscribe button, as well as stay tuned for my review and on feet of the MCA Air Force 1 low next week. So yeah, I think that's about it. Thank you guys again, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.